My name is Juliana Meek, and I am going to talk about my reasons that I'm going to vote no on the initiative for the Collier County Sales Tax, which is going to be on our November ballot. So the first thing I hear from people is, well, if I'm against the tax, I must be against mental health. Well, that's not true. I am very much in favor of what David Lawrence Center does. I think they are a fantastic organization, and I have supported them wholeheartedly in the past. I would love to do so continuing. I just don't believe it should come through my tax dollars. I believe this community is extremely giving. There's many individuals and many businesses who have given to David Lawrence Center and would love to continue to give to David Lawrence Center. I just don't believe that David Lawrence Center has to go through the government to collect donations. I think they will be good on their own. Also, my other issue with it is that the mental health initiative part of it for David Lawrence Center is only 5% of the $490 million. So I got a cup here. We're going to make a drink, a sales tax drink. We'll try and get 5%, which is very, yep, that's it, 5%. So 5% of the juice, courtesy of my nephew, vegetable and fruit juice. So those are nice vitamins in there. And then I looked through the projects very closely, and there are some other projects that I am in favor of. I love supporting our sheriff's office. I think they do fantastic work. I love the idea of vocational training. So there's some other projects in there that I'm definitely in favor for. So I got some spring water for that. And, oh, nope, that's it. So we're still not even at 60% of the $490 million. So now the rest of it, I'm not so much in favor for. And that is going to be represented by corn syrup. So the remaining majority of the money, the corn syrup, is all for expanding and extending roads into East Collier. And why I'm not in favor of that? Well, let's get to that in a second. Okay, yep, there we go. There's the $490 million of your tax dollars. And one nice drink, and we'll give it a stir there. So this is the drink that our Chamber of Commerce and Collier County would like you to drink, and they tell you it's going to be very good for you. After all, there's some vitamins in there, and there's some water in there. So let's give it a drink and let's give it a try. Cheers. Yeah, it tastes as awful as sales tax. So yeah, I don't think that's so great. So the main thing that doesn't make it great is obviously the corn syrup. And why I don't like the corn syrup, the roads, is because all roads lead to development. Now, I looked at the roads project, and there's one major one that stands out in particular, and that's the Vanderbilt Beach extension. And it goes from Collier Boulevard out to about this point here. And there's people that live along here. These are nice big properties. People chose to live here to get away from it all, to live in quiet, to live out on their big pieces of property. And but now they want to stick a major road going right through their backyard. So it's not going to be so quiet anymore. They're going to be in the middle of it instead of being out in the country. So this X here is kind of here, which might be a little hard to see. But that represents about 320 acres of undeveloped land. Collier County owns most of it, but there's also a good portion owned privately. Now, my point is if this road is going out into here, they're going to be developing this land. And that's why I'm against this. I believe that there is a huge environmental impact to with development. We know that while development doesn't cause red tide, what we've been living through and the catastrophe that we're experiencing now, the scientists do say that development does help sustain and maybe even grow a red tide. So it definitely is a factor, according to science. It's one of the many factors involved with the red tide. The other issue is that developing land, more and more land in our county, well, we're getting into the habitat of our animals that also call Collier County their home. So this is going to take away from habitats for bears and panthers, owls, eagles, gopher tortoises, and many, many more animals that are going to be displaced by continuing to develop East Collier. So the next thing I see a lot of is it's just a penny. And they say this with a straight face, right, which is in the same sentence that they say that it's going to raise $490 million. So obviously our individual burden, our impact is going to be a lot more than a penny for each of us. It just doesn't add up otherwise. The money is going to come from somewhere, more than a penny. Which brings me to my personal plea. So I am a small business owner. So the other aspect of this is the burden on small business. My family business has been here since 1964, so 55 years here in Naples. And I'm pouring my heart and soul in, and I'm so passionate for my business that I want to keep it going, and hopefully for another 50 years with my nephew as well. So the burden that we feel as business owners is so huge because we pay commercial rent. Most of us rent our spaces, our stores, restaurants, local restaurants also rent their spaces, and commercial rent is extremely high. It's anywhere 10, 15, 18,000, maybe even more. So these are huge amounts, and 1% on top of that is a huge burden. It is definitely, being a small business owner is definitely an exercise in passion because expenses are so high that you have to pray to stay in the black. So my plea is coming from the small business owner, and the Chamber of Commerce is supposed to speak for small business, but in this case they are punching us in the gut. So the Chamber of Commerce won't speak for us. So I'm speaking up, and I hope if you believe in the value that small business brings to our community, please stand with us and vote no against the sales tax in November. My budget for this obviously was nothing. The Chamber of Commerce and the county have over $100,000 to make slick videos and websites, but I have a web camera and my voice, and I wanted to do my own video to speak out on the reasons I am voting against this tax. Please share it and tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Just get the word out, because I'm not sure that a lot of people understand that the sales tax is countywide, so that includes all the county, Everglades City, Marco. Everyone's going to be paying an extra cent if this goes through. So please help spread the word, and thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. Thank you. Bye.